Hello, 49er fans. We just lost another Super Bowl. Just like we did, back in 2012. The thing is, what I saw tonight was a team that really didn't try. They didn't try. Yeah, I know they scored and they had the lead at times. But this defense was pathetic tonight. They were absolutely pathetic. And in the first half, they held them to 10 points, but overall, they were pathetic. They didn't make the stops when it counted. Instead, they let Mahomes and that offense just move the ball easily down the field. No pass rush. Guys wide open downfield. I can't really blame this game too much on Jimmy Garoppolo. I blame it more on the defense. The defense did. Look, we put together a really good defense this year. And they were supposed to make stops when it counted. They couldn't do it. They just let Mahomes and that offense do whatever the hell they wanted. But I think that Jimmy G, and I'm not criticizing him, and he is going to take a lot of criticism, he showed tonight that he can't be clutch. I mean, he was clutch in games this season, but he was not clutch in this game at all. His throws, he threw an interception early on in the game. He just made mistakes. He threw a couple of interceptions actually, and just did not look like the kind of quarterback that Steve Young or Montana was. He just did not win it in the clutch. And I know a lot of you 49er fans out there may think, may dislike me for this, but I would have rathered have not gotten to the Super Bowl if we were going to lose. Because I don't want us to have a blemish on our Super Bowl record. It's already, before this game, we already had a loss. We already had a loss already. It's very shameful. This team played crap tonight. I mean, they didn't get blown out or anything, but they didn't take care of business like they should have. I mean, we weren't running the ball enough. Has anybody noticed this? We've been doing a lot of passing in this game, it seems, more than running. And, when there was a point in this game where she just kept running the ball. But Kyle Shanahan hasn't learned his lesson since that Atlanta game when he was offensive coordinator with Atlanta, and he starts throwing the ball. Why don't we just work on the clock and try to burn as much time as we can so we can walk out of there with a win? Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. I've heard a lot of people compare this coach to Bill Walsh. He is no Bill Walsh. I like Shanahan, but he is no Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh would have won that game tonight. He would have won it. He would have figured a way to beat Andy Reid. And from what I saw, I didn't see any creativity. I didn't see any new wrinkles or anything that Shanahan installed. I saw pretty much the same things we've seen all season. Same kind of passing and running. But this is a terrible loss. It really is. I mean, I know some people are going to walk away and say, well, we had a good season and all that. But I'm not happy with it. I didn't want it to end this way. And before this game, I had a feeling this could happen. I saw a lot of 49ers fans on YouTube and Twitter and around the internet predicting a blowout win. But I knew that we were up against a dangerous team. A team with a very dangerous offense and a dangerous quarterback. I saw this. And I knew that there was a possibility we could lose. And we did. But our defense should have played better. They should have looked at this defense, or should have looked at Kansas City's offense for what it was and just batten down on these guys and try to stop them and beat them. It didn't seem like that. I saw very little pass rush. I saw the coverage was terrible. Guys were getting wide open downfield. Yeah, we really didn't play well in this game at all. We just kind of played bad. You know. But you know what the big question is going to be now? Big question is this: if we ever do get back to a Super Bowl again, and we probably will, we still have a good team. The question is going to be, can we get over that hump? If we get there, can we win? Can we get over that hump? Because it seems like in recent years we just cannot seem to finish. In 2012 season, when we played the Ravens in that Super Bowl, it was close, but we could not finish. In this game, we had a 20-10 lead, but we could not finish, and they end up winning by 11. You know, the 49er teams of old would have never have lost this Super Bowl, or the Super Bowl 47. They would have never have lost those games. They would have won those games because there was kind of a kind of thinking back then that if you go to the Super Bowl, you win it. You don't come away with a loss, you win it. But this team, there was a time during the regular season I had said that when they lost to the Ravens, and they kind of fell behind the Seahawks a little bit, I said that this 49er team is not a championship team. They don't win the games that really matter. They don't finish. Well, that's true. I mean, they did not finish today. They did not become a championship team. Now, if you want to say, well, they're champions of the NFC West and the NFC in general, okay. But the big picture is the Super Bowl. And they did not finish. The defense did not play well. The offense made too many mistakes. Jimmy G threw an interception when he was under pressure. He should have threw it away or picked up yards with his feet. We had opportunities to win this game. But the defense let us down. And the offense couldn't get anything going. I mean, they got some things going, but their offense, the offense kind of stalled at times. We had times there were chances where we could have, got on touchdown drives, but we ended up kicking field goals. I mean, we should have ran the ball more. We didn't run the ball more. We didn't use what we used against Green Bay and Minnesota. Instead, we passed the ball more in this game. Kyle Shanahan, he's a good coach, but he makes the wrong decisions in the wrong time. Oh, God. You know what? I'll tell you one thing. I wish that I had taken tomorrow off. I wish I had taken Monday off and Tuesday off so I'd have a couple of days to get over this freaking loss. This is ridiculous. The team ought to be ashamed of themselves. I hear 49er fans saying out there, oh, well, they should be proud of the season they had, But I really believe that they were good enough to win this game, but they just did not make the right decisions. Defensively, it was there were times we made some good stops, but there were times when, like, Mahomes was back there and he had all this time and he just threw it, first down, without any pass rush, without any coverages. I don't know, man, but this is a bad loss. It's not a good loss. It is. We are now 5-2 in Super Bowls. I was hoping that we would bring home the quest for 6, but this team decided no. We were just happy to be here, and we'll just try the best we can. Just go out and do it. Go out and do it. Get it done. Instead of just freaking talking about it. I didn't see any creativity at all. I mean, they had 2 weeks to prepare for this team. And I didn't see any creativity at all out of Kyle Shanahan's book. This all looked like the same stuff he's been running all year. Same kind of offensive plays and stuff like that. I didn't see any creativity. What the heck was he doing for 2 weeks? What I'm really also sad about is that they wanted to win this game for Tony York. Jed York said a year ago after a game, he said, "I want to get my brother a ring, and we're going to be a champion and we're going to do it." There's a video of that on YouTube. Guess what? They couldn't get over that hump. They just couldn't do it. I don't know. I mean, is this the new normal? We get to a Super Bowl and we're just going to lose it? That's the best we can do. Oh man, this kind of ruins everything. I really was hoping for a sixth ring. I really was. And in fact, I bought another trophy to put up here, but it won't be going up there this year because we lost. I was hoping to buy a T-shirt that said Super Bowl champions on it. But you can't look at this game and say that we did a good job, or we did the best we could. I don't think we did the best we could. We could have done better than this. This defense was stout, but they let Mahomes have all kinds of time to throw the ball. He was just sitting back there, blink, boink, boink, like that. The receivers were wide open downfield. They were moving the ball with ease. This does not look like the stout defense I imagined. But I was kind of concerned. I knew that he was a mobile quarterback and that it could cause us problems, and it did. I wanted us to win this game so badly. I even prayed. But usually prayers are never usually prayers are sometimes just never answered. So you gotta just accept that's the way it is. But yeah, this is not a good win. And I work I live here in the Northwest, and I work with a lot of Seahawk fans, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, what have you done lately? You haven't won a Super Bowl. We won one 6 years ago." Yeah. What's really disappointing about this season is that the 49ers tried very hard to get to this point. There was there was a lot of games where they came close to losing, and they were able to pull it off. The Seahawk game, last game of the season, Week 17, they made a good goal line stop to win that game. And you kind of thought, well, maybe destiny's on their side. If they win games like that. There was the last Rams game where there was 2 3rd and 16s, and they converted on them and got the field goal. Well, it's just and then this is the way the season ends. It could be a problem with youth. Maybe a lot of this has to do with youth with the team. They're just not ready for this stage yet. But then again, Kansas City's a young team too, and they played like they were ready for this. We weren't. One of the things I noticed too before this game is that the Kansas City Chiefs seemed loose. They looked like they were ready to win. 49ers kind of came out kind of mellow, and that kind of concerned me. That kind of made me start thinking that maybe they have doubts in their head. Maybe not. I don't know. But one thing is for certain is it's hard to get to a Super Bowl. It's hard to win a Super Bowl, and it's not easy to get to this point. You never know. You got to take advantage of the opportunity. You don't know if you'll ever return to it. You never know. Maybe you never do. After the 2012 Super Bowl loss, I was hoping the following year we'd get back, but we lost to Seattle in the AFC Championship game, and then we went downhill, and then I started thinking to myself, maybe we will never return to the Super Bowl. Maybe we never will. We eventually did, but we didn't finish like we did last time. We just didn't finish. We had a 20-10 lead with 6 minutes remaining in the game. Clock management was terrible. Defense was terrible. Offense was terrible in that moment. You can't put any kind of, um, you know, you can't say anything good about this. There was nothing good about it at all. Yeah, we stayed tough with them. We stayed close at most of the point. But we just didn't finish. We just didn't get it done like we were supposed to. And, like I said, there were a lot of 49er fans out there predicting a blowout win, predicting a victory. I was kind of like up in the air about this. I was kind of like, well, maybe we will, but maybe we won't. Kansas City is not a team to sleep on. They're not a pushover team like, the way Green Bay and Minnesota was in the playoffs. This is a serious football team. Why is everybody sleeping on this team? Why is everybody thinking this is going to be an easy win? I did not think it was going to be an easy win. I thought, yes, we could win it, but I also believe that we would probably lose it too because they are very, very good, the Kansas City Chiefs. That offense and Patrick Mahomes are dangerous. They are. And we learned that tonight. But part of it was our fault because we didn't play good defense when it counted. The offense broke down in very key moments. I think there was some bad coaching also. There was like before the first half or before halftime, we had an opportunity to get downfield and maybe take the lead. We didn't do that. At first, we were starting to run the ball and trying to run the clock out, but then I can't remember what it was, either Mostert or I can't remember his name. We got a big gain and got a first down and got into Kansas City territory, and then Kyle Shanahan starts using timeouts because he thinks that maybe we can get in field goal range and kick a field goal. Well, he didn't. He wasted too much time to begin with, and we could have had 3 points. We could have had a 16 point lead, 16 to 10 lead at a certain point. But no, we didn't play well enough to win this game. We did some things good, but not enough to win. And I think that we have to look at this and say, look, man, if we're going to come back here again, we've got to get over that hump. No more of this losing Super Bowls. I'm tired of losing Super Bowls. I'm tired of it. I want to win one for a change. We lost, and the thing is, too, that Super Bowl that we lost back in the 2012 season, at least that was a close game. This one we lost by 11. I know one thing, Kyle Shanahan is not a patient man, and he is not going to look at this in a very favorable light. When Jim Harbaugh lost that Super Bowl back in the 2012 season, he didn't like that. He was very upset about that. But I want to win Super Bowls. I just don't want to be there. Now, I know a lot of you 49er fans might not like me for saying this, but if I had a choice between losing a Super Bowl and just, let's say we go to a Super Bowl and lose, okay? I would not want that. I would rather not making the Super Bowl if we're going to lose the Super Bowl. I want it to be for real. When we get there, I want it to be for real. I'll tell you one thing, though. I did not want the Kansas City Chiefs. I did not want to play them because I knew they were dangerous. I wanted to play the Titans because I felt that the Titans, we could beat them. I was kind of afraid of that running back they have, Henry. But I wasn't as much afraid of him as I was Mahomes. Mahomes is just dangerous. And we learned that tonight. But I think that we just got to regroup from this in the off season and hope we can re-sign some of these guys that are going to become free agents and try again. But if we get there, we gotta make it happen. We can't just get there and just be happy to be there. I want to win it. I'm so saddened by this loss because I wanted to have that same feeling that I had back in 1994 season when we beat the Chargers in that Super Bowl 29. I wanted to have that same feeling, but instead, I have that bitter feeling that I had after Super Bowl 47. You know, and I just saw it, just the way it looked. It looked like the team just wasn't really focused on winning this game tonight. I mean, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's going to take a lot of heat. He's going to take a lot of heat because in a clutch time situation, he collapsed. He collapsed. Even when we got the ball back, being behind 31-20, hoping maybe to get a touchdown, an onside kick, he collapsed even then. And you know what the media is going to say tomorrow, and the papers are going to say tomorrow. Jimmy G is not a big game clutch quarterback. That's what they're going to say. This hurts him. I wanted to see him win this game. I wanted the 49ers to win this game just for him because he's been taking so much criticism in the media lately. He needed this win. But, um, defense didn't hold its bargain. Jimmy G had to be in a situation where he had to do too much. He couldn't get the team down the field to win the game. He was off target on some of his throws in those last minutes. So that's how it ended. That's how it ended. So everybody, that's all I want to say. Disappointing night for the 49ers. We just have to see what happens next year. But to win all these games and to lose, it's just terrible. It just is. I mean, some people may walk away with this and say, well, we had a good season and all that. But, it just seems to me that if you have the record the 49ers had, you win the division, you make the playoffs, you win the conference, you got to get there and win it. Bill Walsh and George Seifert are not happy. I mean, if Bill Walsh was alive today, he wouldn't be happy realizing that we lost 2 Super Bowls. The emphasis back then was when you get to the Super Bowl, you win. That's why we had such a perfect Super Bowl record, 5-0. But in later years, we just couldn't get it done. So that's all I wanted to say, and everybody take care.